Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War Zombies video. So as you guys know, already within the game, Treyarch are pointing to us and teasing to us where we are going to be heading within the DLC season. There are a bunch of clues within D Machina's intro cutscene and also the intel in the game and a bunch of other stuff, so I'm going to be compiling everything within today's video. So obviously within the D Machina intro cutscene, Gregory Weaver, working for the CIA-backed Requiem, looks at various different computer screens in which point locations in which there are dark ether anomalies and the undead are obviously seeping out. One of those locations is obviously Moscow, Poland, which is the location of D Machina. Another location is the Kaysan combat base in Vietnam. Now, it is rumored right now that this is going to be DLC 1, and from everything within the game it seems like that is likely, and I have already posted a 16-minute video talking about all of the information that we know thus far about this Vietnam Zombies map from teasers already within the game. So I will leave a link to that video in the description if you want to go ahead and watch it, because this video is just going to be focusing on the other maps since I have already gone in depth regarding that map. Now, there is also a rumor currently circulating that maybe before we see this Vietnam map, or at some point in time during the DLC cycle, we could be seeing Nacht, Untoten released as a standard survival map for the game. Just because it is rumored that Nacht, Untoten was going to be a map that was going to be on launch but was cut from the game, so maybe it is instead held back for DLC. That is a current bit of speculation that is floating around the community. I mean, it would make sense because it would be easy for them to just literally corner it off from D Machina. And also within the Season 1 roadmap, it only lists new zombies modes and not maps. So if they're not planning on giving us any full-fledged map, it would be good for them to supplement that with small survival maps. Anyways, the next map that is showcased on Gregory Weaver's computer screen is in fact the Ural Mountains in Russia, specifically Mount Yamantau. So it seems like Mount Yamantau is going to be yet another zombies map. Now, the Ural Mountains is the same location as the fire teams within multiplayer, and we also visit here, specifically Mount Yamantau, within the campaign for Black Ops Cold War as well. But this isn't the first time we have been to Mount Yamantau. We visited here obviously within the original Black Ops 1 campaign, specifically within the 11th mission titled WMD, where Kilo 1 is told to find the biochemical weapon codenamed Nova 6. We have a quote from Alex Mason that reads, "He went to Mount Yamantau, fucking Soviet doomsday bunker." Now, this was actually the mission in which Harris died by falling off the cliff. However, recently before the game release, we got a live action trailer released by Treyarch in which we learn that Harris is somehow still alive, as he is being interrogated by Bowman's son. So I'm wondering if Harris still being alive will somehow tie into zombies, because so far we didn't see Bowman's kid at all in the campaign. We saw nothing to do with Harris, so I'm assuming that's going to tie into the Warzone storyline, and I'm wondering if it could have some sort of relevance in terms of the zombie storyline too, since we're going to be heading to this exact same location. And I do think that this would be the perfect location for a zombies map. I like the snowy atmosphere. Obviously, we already have a lot of snowy maps if we look back at all of the ones that we've received in the past. We have D Machina, we have The Giants, we have Origins, we have Der Eisendrache, we have Call of the Dead, we have Kino Der Toten, and I may be missing some. And I do think that they'll probably just reuse this nuclear bunker from the campaign. It would make sense since they've already textured it in and stuff like that, and we have this very important quote from the campaign of the game that not a lot of people are talking about. So to give some context for this quote before I play it to you guys, there is a side quest on the Mount Yamantau campaign mission in which you are able to open up this locker, and within this locker is a picture of Steiner, and you also receive a special Redeemer pistol. Whilst this occurs, Mason has a bit of a brainwashing flashback with the numbers.
Well, look at this.
And I think this is really important because just moments later within the campaign, we get this quote.
You ask me, they're here for more than just the mainframe. Steiner was working on all sorts of crazy shit. That Nova 6 business was just the tip of the iceberg.
This quote essentially says Steiner was up to much worse than just Nova 6, aka zombies, all of the stuff to do with the Ascension group. So Steiner was up to no good, and they also allude to the fact that they were doing crazy experiments at this location to do with zombies. They say they think they are here for something else. So yeah, this is a teaser literally within the campaign that this is going to be a location for a zombies map, and I've not seen anyone picking up this. I noticed it straight away when I played the campaign, but I've not seen anyone else talking about this. So I believe that we might see Steiner as a boss zombie on this DLC map. Because obviously in Black Ops 1's campaign, Steiner was killed by Mason as he was brainwashed into thinking he was Victor Reznov. And as he kills him, he screams out, "I am Victor Reznov and I will have my revenge." And via this little side quest, you get the Redeemer. Redeeming yourself could be the opposite to revenge. And yeah, I think there is a huge possibility that Steiner could be reanimated as a zombie. Now, of course, this is just speculation, but if you guys are unaware, Steiner was originally going to be the boss on Die Maschine. I think he was supposed to be the Megaton Overlord. However, they obviously replaced him with Orlov, and if you look within the files of the game, everything to do with Orlov is codenamed Steiner. So I think Steiner was originally going to be the boss on Die Maschine, and the reason why they cut him from the game is because I think they are instead holding him back for DLC, and this is basically backed up by this quote that we have within the campaign. Now, the thing is, there is some Dark Aether intel on Die Maschine that also hints at this map. So we have this piece of intel that reads, Day 937, gathered lots of electronics, no success constructing transmitter, some gear seems very old, other components unlike any I have ever seen, wish I could find instruction manual, also finding shimmering weak spots, where this world seems to overlap with home, attempted to pass through but could not, still caught a glimpse of what looked like Southeast Asia, so close yet out of reach, must keep trying. So basically we have these people trapped within the Dark Aether, they're essentially lost souls, they're starting to corrupt within the Dark Aether. However, apparently from the Dark Aether anomalies they are able to see out into the normal universe and get a glimpse of the regular world, and Southeast Asia I would assume is the Vietnam map that they get a peek of. And I've already talked about this within that prior video, but we have another piece of intel. This one reads, Day 1, 108. Attempts to pass through weak spots yielding limited results. Managed to lengthen glimpses of home into brief visits. So essentially, whoever this character is that is trapped within the Dark Aether has managed to make his way out of the Dark Aether, but only momentarily, and then they get sucked back into the Dark Aether. I guess it's similar to how on Die Maschine, when you enter the Dark Aether portal, you're only able to stay within the Dark Aether for a matter of moments, and then you get sucked back into the regular world. It seems like the Dark Aether appears to be some sort of reflection of reality, hence the spectral reflections, and I think the Dark Aether is a reflection at different points in time. Anyways, it says the location is different every time. A jungle, a village, which I think is referring to the Vietnam zombies map, a glacier. So I think that the glacier is obviously Mount Yamantau. I mean, you can literally see a glacier out in the snowy mountains if you look in the distance. I wander unseen, like a ghost, 10 or 15 seconds, then pulled back here. If I could only get someone to see me, if I could only ask for help. So yeah, I would assume that once again, Mount Yamantau is going to be another Omega facility in which they are opening up these Dark Aether rifts. I'm wondering if the Easter egg on potentially this Vietnam zombies map or the Ural Mountains could revolve around us trying to rescue this lost soul from the Dark Aether. I'm sure we're going to see more spectral reflections like ghosts, like we saw within Die Maschine's Easter egg on the future DLC maps, and maybe this is one of the characters that we will see. But I do think this is really interesting backstory in terms of the Dark Aether and how it works. Now, the next thing I want to point out is we have a cipher that was solved on Die Maschine. So there is a little side Easter egg where you can get 1,500 points, and you can electrify all of these different satellites. I've already posted a video on this before, if you want to check that out and learn about how this cipher was solved. Anyways, what the cipher reads itself is Attention K. P confirms viability of deployment. Opportunity identified in previous communique. Selected site is approved for trial run of Operation Inversion. So I think Operation Inversion is Mount Yamantau. I think that's what it is referring to. Anyways, it says the nature of warfare is about to transform. Any mission, any time, any place. G. Now in terms of who these characters are, potentially K could be Kravchenko, because I think this will be set before his death. P could potentially be Perseus, and maybe G could be Gorbachev. But yeah, I think it would be reasonable to see Kravchenko as an antagonist within Black Ops Cold War Zombies' storyline, because obviously Kravchenko was responsible for Weaver's missing eye. So it would make sense that Kravchenko is working with the Soviet-led Omega group, maybe he's the commanding chief, and Grigory Weaver could be trying to then get revenge back on Kravchenko, and there could be a dynamic which we already have where it's Omega Group versus Requiem, and it could be symbolized by Kravchenko versus Grigory Weaver. But yeah, judging from this cipher, it seems like they are using the zombies and the information they're getting from the Ethereum and the Dark Aether to create weapons of mass destruction and use the zombies for war efforts to overthrow the Cold War. Now obviously we are going to be seeing Eddie at some point within the DLC as well. Since both Eddie and Sam entered this new universe, he's obviously now going to be grown up, and I have a feeling like Eddie could be working for Omega Group. We do see this unknown character stalking Samantha in D Machina's intro cutscene in Berlin. This character then follows her in a car, and I feel like this character is in fact Eddie. It looks quite similar to him, and he's trying to hide his face as if she might know his identity. Anyways, the next map that is teased on D Machina's intro cutscene is in fact Berlin. Now we see another map of Berlin within the menu for Black Ops Cold War Zombies as well. Now I think the reason as to why the Berlin map is within your creator class menu for zombies is because your operators for Requiem are being sent into Moscow from Berlin. I think that's the base of operations for Requiem, and that is where they are providing them, obviously with the field upgrades, the weapons, etc. After all, as I was saying within D Machina's intro cutscene, Samantha is within Berlin. So it seems like maybe Berlin could be a base of operations for Requiem, and maybe Omega are going to be attacking Requiem or something like that, because it seems like obviously D Machina, the Vietnam map, and also the Ural Mountains are all going to be Omega locations. So maybe the script could be flipped with Berlin where it's a Requiem location. Now we don't really know much information regarding this Berlin map just yet, to be honest. There's not really much intel about it or Easter eggs within the game. Now on this computer screen in the menu you can see a red dot, and a huge thank you to one unknown player over on Twitter, but he managed to pinpoint exactly where this red dot leads to, and it leads directly to this building that you can see on screen. And guess what? If we go all the way back in the day to Kino Der Toten, yes, that is right, this exact building can be seen just outside of the map. So what this means is that the Berlin Zombies map is literally going to be set directly where Kino Der Toten is. So I am very confident that this pretty much 100% confirms that Kino Der Toten is going to be a part of this Berlin Zombies map. Rumored to release in Season 4, but that could be subject to change. So I guess it's going to be just like D Machina, where Nacht Untoten is a tiny part of that map, but the rest of the map is brand new. I'm assuming it's going to be the same here, where Kino Der Toten is a tiny part. However, we can now explore the entire city of Berlin. We'll be able to walk down the city streets and explore a bunch of places that we didn't before. However, Kino Der Toten wasn't the only zombies map that we have seen in the past set in Berlin. Obviously, we have the asylum facility, aka Verruckt. And the in real life location of Verruckt, the Wittenau Sanatorium, is located just streets away from this building. So it is very well possible that both Kino Der Toten and Verruckt are going to be a part of this Berlin Zombies map. Now the thing is, there has been some recent audio found within the files of the game, and it sounds like some sort of cassette player, and it plays about 5 seconds from the 115 Easter egg song from Kino Der Toten, and also a lullaby from a dead man, the Easter egg song on Verruckt. So it seems like this could potentially be an unsolved Easter egg within the game, or something releasing in the future that is going to tease the return of Kino Der Toten and Verruckt. Now if they are going to be having this Berlin Zombies map, like I talked about earlier, maybe Kino Der Toten and also Verruckt could be released as their own separate survival maps. If there are going to be some seasons where we don't get a main zombies map, that would be a great way to supplement new maps in addition to new zombies modes. And also the intro cutscene of Die Maschine where Samantha is in Berlin is set very close to Kino Der Toten. I think this would be a great zombies map to explore the storyline of Samantha and Eddie. I feel like this map might be quite heavy in storyline due to the significance of Kino Der Toten. I wonder if we could have a Dark Aether broken version of the Thunder Gun for this map if we are going to be seeing Kino as a part of it. I would rather us see original wonder weapons though, but I wouldn't put it past them to do this. Okay, so last but certainly not least, as he just stated, there is audio within the files of the game for the Easter egg song from Kino Der Toten and Verruckt. Now I will leave a link to a video down below that plays that audio, but the final song that has been found is, yes that is right, Beauty of Annihilation, the Easter egg song from Der Ries/The Giant. So it seems like potentially the other zombies map is in fact going to be a Der Ries remake. Now we've seen Der Ries a handful of times, but we have two with Nacht or Untoten, but once again it's probably going to be similar to Die Maschine, in which Nacht or Untoten is a tiny part of the map, the rest of the map is brand new. They could open up the Der Ries facility so it is much larger. Just like before, we may see some sort of Dark Aether broken version of the Wunderwaffe DG2. However, like I said before, I would rather see an original wonder weapon. Now, once again, we do not have confirms that we are going to be heading to Der Ries. We practically have confirms that we will be heading to Berlin and Kino Der Toten because of the fact that the map literally points to it, and we have practically confirmed that we are going to be heading to the Ural Mountains. But right now, I've not really seen any teasers within the game pointing towards Der Ries set in Breslau, Germany, but I think that this is very compelling evidence that we will be going there. And there was also a user on the official Call of Duty Discord that posted a bunch of information ages ago that ended up turning out to be correct, including images before the reveal trailer, and most of what he said ended up being correct. And he said that there was a map that was being worked on codenamed Giant, so I do think that this giant map could in fact be Der Ries. I'm wondering if what if this map is going to be set within the Dark Aether, because I'm really hoping that one of the DLC maps will be physically set in the Dark Aether the entire time, instead of us just jumping in and out of the Dark Aether like we do on Die Maschine. But yeah, I'm wondering, since obviously the Origins robots were being made at the Der Ries facility, and we do have these giant elder gods that we see on Die Maschine, and thanks to Advance for this close-up footage, and these are these giant mutated creatures that are formed within the Dark Aether, and I'm wondering if they could replace the Origins robots, and they could be wandering around the map, and I think it would fit perfectly with Der Ries, because obviously the map is called the Giants, and if we are going to be heading here again, the new giants could be the Elder Gods, which leads me to believe that maybe this map is going to be set within the Dark Aether just because of this fact. Now, thanks to Magua over on Twitter, but if we have a look at the model of this giant creature, we can see that it's literally made up of bodies. It looks very creepy and really reminds me of the Final Reich's boss fight that was similarly made up of dead body parts. So basically it seems like all of these lost souls within the Dark Aether have started to corrupt and merge together, and it has formed the Elder Gods. And similarly, obviously Victis were sent into the Dark Aether on Nacht Der Toten. So technically speaking, since they've been in there for so long, Victis could literally now be a part of these giant monsters, the Elder Gods. Now once again, if it is correct that we will be seeing Der Ries as a part of this map, then I really do think that maybe this could be the climax in which we see Kravchenko, if he is going to be one of the antagonists within the game, and also they could release Der Ries as its own survival map too. So yeah, potentially this giant map per se, whatever it ends up being called, could be the climax. It could be DLC 4. Of course, we don't really know the exact map order for the DLC, but but right now in game they are mainly teasing at the Vietnam zombies map and the Ural Mountains zombies map. Anyways, that is everything I wanted to talk about within today's video, so hopefully I have covered everything surrounding the DLC maps in Black Ops Cold War Zombies. Now obviously there are rumours about Transit, Die Rise and Buried releasing to the game, but honestly I think at this point we might not be seeing them, and I will have a video talking about that soon, which is disappointing because it's been heavily rumoured for a while. I just don't really see where they would fit in, to be honest, when I'm thinking about things logically. Anyways, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not the latest and greatest Call of Duty news and information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.